Hey, it's me, Reuven. This is a prologue, and I'm sorry if I sound a little nasally. I had a bit of cold last night. It actually kind of sucked. I'm just making a short video to talk about a brand new SMP I'm joining, MiracleSMP. Everything I say is mostly speculative, blah, since I actually have no idea what I'm getting myself into, but besides my thoughts, I want a space where I can voice my plans. From what I've come to know, MiracleSMP is your run-of-the-mill survival multiplayer server among friends with an overarching narrative. A narrative that I actually really like or is really interesting. I only got a snippet, same as everyone else, but I'm excited to see what the owner has planned. Naturally, the plot will act as a seed to which players can collaborate and add their own lore to the story as it progresses, or at least that's how I anticipate things going. It might just be, a Minecraft server where we all build and like do a little RP, stuff like that, which is perfectly fine. I feel like I'm jumping the gun a little bit by talking about all this stuff so seriously, but I've been very excited, so that's why I'm acting the way I am, to be quite honest. Um it's been all over my TikTok feed recently. Been getting hits of nostalgia from Sam Gladiator clips from way back when they were doing their Yandere High School RP. Um Most people might not know about that, but I know there's a community out there that was, same as me, grew up with that kind of thing. I don't think I ever actually finished it. I think I only got to like I don't know, episode 30. I can't remember why I stopped watching exactly, but it's on my bucket list of things to watch, just start to finish. 'Cause why not? It is a little bit dated, but it's got that place in my heart for sure. Besides that, I've always wanted to have a space where I can just play, build, and, write with cool, like-minded people because like I've got plenty of friends on social media, but we're all busy and we don't always come together to do things like this long term. So it'd be really nice to, have that sort of experience because you see it all over YouTube and TikTok, but never actually experience it yourself, at least from a consumer's perspective. Definitely something I want to be a part. I haven't looked at any of the big name examples, say the Dream SMP or Quackity's SMP too closely. I doubt this will be anything like that, let alone on that scale. Though with all the talk of producing content for the server within the actual Discord server, by the way, and there's also dedicated channels, I felt as though I should try and pitch in a little bit. I'm not too serious about this whole, creating content thing, but it's mainly just for fun, living up my kid version dreams of being a Minecraft YouTuber. But in the way of SMPs, it was actually the Hermitcraft SMP that interested me for a long time. Specifically from Mumbo's perspective, across all of the season. One of the reasons I like Hermitcraft SMP is the collaborative side of the thing. If you had any kind of event, Mumbo would have a perspective, Green would, this person would, that person would. Um, and I thought that was a really cool aspect of it. Everyone just getting together. You have many sides to the story, many perspectives, and that's great for clip farming. No, I'm kidding. It's fine. These videos are just to document my time LARPing as my OC. The character I've gone for is a zombie, because I'm really into zombies. I dig them. That's a terrible joke, I'm sorry. I like all their little quirks that come with them, say burning in daylight, not being able to open doors, small things like that that I can just, play into if I remember to that. What with being a monster naturally predisposed to being evil, I'd really like to be some kind of antagonist if any kind of story develops. But it's one of those things where we'll just have to wait and see. I like the idea of dynamic characters, Blackheart turns to gold kind of thing. Um, I don't want to set anything in stone or plan out anything too seriously. I just want it to, be natural. That's how I do most things anyway, and I feel like that's the essence for RP. Did I mention I do a lot of RP? That's why I'm talking like this. What with being lonely in their crypt. Oh, Jesus. Forgot about that. Right. As my characters being lonely in their crypts, expanding, digging, building, I imagine nations will be developing on the surface. That's why I want to have them be a rogue for a little bit, before I even consider making a nation of my own or joining an existing one. I didn't even consider nations, entire nations could be a thing. I guess that is a testament to how big they plan on growing this server. One of the key activities that I want to have them do is anything to do with magic, science, and research. That's stuff like alchemy, fireworks, redstone, scientific approaches to even the most mundane aspects of Minecraft. That'll give me a lot to work with, just just for fun, just drag people along kind of thing, and definitely gives me a good excuse to bother people because guinea pigs are great for testing. That's an at random assumption, but it won't always be at random. I imagine server events such as miracles will interest them the most. Plot-wise, from what I can tell, a constant of the world, so it seems, are miracles. However they might manifest, I want my OC to pursue them and desire to cover them for himself. Completely if possible. Which, very evil. Definitely an antagonist kind of thing. Classic evil, Disney villain kind of evil. It's not a by any means necessary kind of thing. Mostly just something he's really bitter about, while with his belief that monsterkind is severely oppressed. So with that said, I hope to build libraries where I can write books in, um, all kinds of things, maybe observations of people, observations of happenstances in the world, events, um, from a completely isolated perspective that's really nihilistic about everything. Test chambers, duh, where I'm gonna maybe store an iron golem or something, or different mobs. On the subject of mobs, I'm not sure I'm gonna do that because, I don't want to cram the server full of mobs and just lag it out for story reasons. That's kind of lame. It might be a if but when kind of thing. The server is also going to be modded, so there might be things related to that. I thought there would be origins, with all the races going around, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. It's one of those we'll have to wait and see kind of thing again, because again, all of this is speculation. I don't know what the server's going to be like yet. Cells, which you commonly see in a stronghold, but speaking of structures, might notice 3 beacons whilst I was running around. These beacons are to mark out different locations, which I found using the Explorer's Compass, which is a really handy mod when you use structures. This one is a zombie spawner. That one over there is a skeleton spawner. Dungeon, sorry. Zombie dungeon, skeleton dungeon, and that one over there is a spider dungeon. The one that we are used to. Young is a very good creator that I like. I use him almost all the time when I play survival. And he makes things like this. These crypts are really cool and definitely something I want to take inspiration from. It's the small things like building tombs that I wouldn't think of very well, if that sentence makes sense. There'd be a spawner in there, but obviously I wouldn't have access to those. A good use of concrete here. A lot of what are these called again? Smooth stone, right. I'm not sure if I go with this block palette specifically. I imagine most things will be deep underground, so a majority of it would be stone instead of this like cobbled, coarse dirt kind of deal. But if we go down here, we can see even more. It has these corridors and these little. I'm not sure. I'm thinking of Skyrim when I say this, where the Draugr are, like laying down Nordic corpses, crypts, whatever. These are where zombies lie. And I was wondering whilst I was at work, wondering how I do that, and I was just like, wait, Young did it, so I'll just look at this. Um, I imagine because I really want candles too. That fits the aesthetic beautifully. I imagine farming them will be pretty annoying. I haven't messed around with bees too much, but I have a building in mind that could look pretty good in a crypt setting for bees anyway, because I don't plan on going above the surface often. Uh, yeah, it's just cramped hallways like these, lots of rubble, lots of zombie heads, dungeon kind of thing. And I did imagine whilst I was thinking of what I was going to build, having dungeon loot around the place, just for fun, just for people to find, a take one kind of thing. Depends. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Let's go to this spider one because this one is not as impressive as this guy. Right. So this is a augmented version of the spawner dungeon rooms that we are used to. It's very cute. I like it a lot. I'm not too interested in the loot. I just felt like looking in there, but I look at this banner especially. It's just the infill of cobblestone with the stronger stone brick sort of roof supports and like pillars that I really like. And here's the skeleton spawner. It surprised me how deep underground this one was. I don't think I encountered it in survival whilst I had this mod pack installed. Yeah, way down in the deep slate. I guess that explains the blue fire. But this one, it's sort of like a barracks area, much more heavy on the stone, probably because of how deep it is. You know, got some skulls. I imagine skulls would be pretty hard to get my hands on, because I think you need a charged creeper, but I'm sure there are farms for that. Over here too. And I like how it makes use of verticality too, where it has this you know, entire area above it. I imagine this would be well, would look even better in some kind of open mine kind of area, as some kind of embassy or stronghold of the undead. All right, let me get myself over to the stronghold. Here we go. Just jump down here. Now, Young really outdid himself with this stronghold overhaul, because this is what I think is the main chamber of any stronghold, but it's always these cathedral-like, you know, open spaces that I really like. Again, good use of balcony here, which I think is just an extension of the dungeon itself. I'm not really sure, but it really twists and winds around itself, and it's very cool. I'll see if I can find any of the specific structures, but besides specific structures, you just get rooms like these, rooms off to the side where it looks lived in, and it looks like a civilization was here, did use it, not sure what kind, but it's that era mystery that I really, really like. I hope to create something like that um, in some of my builds. I imagine making the banners would be a huge pain. Not that they never are, but banner making is very fulfilling and also very therapeutic, putting all the pieces together. I have to whip out an Eye of Ender to figure out where I'm going. Right, this is a blacksmith. Blacksmith is a really nice room it can have as well. Not so similar to the villager blacksmiths, but it does the job just the same. Man, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. I think I'd ever give speedrunning a try. I'm very much a casual gamer, which is why I'm spending my time doing this instead of, you know, grinding out the leaderboards or whatever. Because they have that mod uh, that lets you challenge other players to speedruns and you do it at the same time on the same seed. I think that's super interesting and definitely like a big step for speedrunning. Makes you wish all games did that, but I guess that's what charity streams are for. Are these one of the... Yeah, it is! It is one of the breakable walls. Sweet! Man, I love these. I love small details like this in dungeons. I'm pretty sure this would... Ooh, lingering instant damage. There's a lot of that in here. There's some good loot down here too. Those speedrunners find the specific portal frames, or if they even have a method. I'm sure they do, because they, whenever I see clips of them, they always manage to find it straight away. If you're like using a nether portal, even very precise. They're very good at what they do. The breakable wall. Oh, so every breakable wall has that. Okay. Is this the portal room? It is! Yeah, look how cool this portal room is. I didn't need to break that. I have peaceful mode on. But it's with the stone dragon here too. Statues, especially stone ones where you kind of have to squint to, you know, get the finer details. I love. I want to have a ton of these in my crypt place. And it was these water channels too that I was imagining a lot. In terms of block palette, cracked, chiseled, mossy, all of that would be great to have, but I imagine I'll be working with limited resources at the start. So I think what will happen is the development of quality as I go down and obtain better things would be progressive. Alright, so I'm pretty much explored as much as there is to see. I would like to find the library, to be quite honest, because I mentioned before, one of the things I would like to have is a library. I think that would be really cool to have. It's a lot of work in terms of cows and sugarcane, but definitely worth the effort. Because who just has a library nowadays? Libraries is like the last thing you think of in a Minecraft build, in my opinion. Unless you're going for like grand high fantasy and resources on a problem. Because those bookshelves, those are expensive. 6 wood planks, 3 books. And each book, that totals out to 9 paper, 3 leather? That's not cheap. It's demanding, if anything. I do like these overhauls quite a lot, but I feel like the issue with them is a lot like modern cave generation, you could just explore forever and never stop because you get to dead ends like these. That's one example. I'm back here again. Oh, is this it? Yes, library. Okay, probably I won't do something as fancy as this because this looks quite nice. Um, actually, did I give it too much credit by calling it fancy? This now that I look at it, this is I could easily replicate this. Obviously not with the spawners and maybe not too many cobwebs. Cobwebs, I mean, sorry. But this assortment, this lectern with knowledge in it, lore, I dig that. I dig that a lot. Right. Conclusion to all of those structures I just look at, I'll probably pull bits and pieces from it. I don't want to copy Young outright because that's very, crass. And I don't consider myself a builder, but that's not the point. I want to at least try. Uh, damn, that fountain in the center is cool. But I hope this will, I hope this server turns out because everyone seems very committed. Everyone seems like they know what they're doing. They seem like they're friends already too. And if this becomes a big thing, if there are tons of players and we're all making content, that sounds like a lot of fun. I'm new to making content. I'm not sure how this will go, but I am hopeful. I'll see you all in the future. God, that's so cringy.